Welcome to Tony the Mole Adams YouTube channel. My name is Steve Mascord. I am your host, and this is our flagship show, Midweek Scoops. How are you, Tony?
Yeah, doing well, Steve. Ready for another big round and a special week in Oz because the NRLW kicks off this weekend and it's just getting bigger and better every season.
Yeah, they had their launch the other day, didn't they? Lots happening. Tony, Origin obviously is around the corner, the third and deciding match. And you've got a little bit of info on something Laurie Daley has done that might tip the scales in his team's favour.
Yeah, and it's something he learnt from his old Canberra coach, Tim Sheens, during their great days in the 1990s when they won a couple of comps. What Tim would do, he had a habit of every time the penalty count went heavily against his team, he would make it his business to go down to League HQ before their next game and have it out with the referees, have it out with the NRL, and basically try to make things right. And Laurie Daley, would you believe, last week went down to visit the NRL, remembering that Ashley Klein penalised them 12-2, the Blues, in game 2. At one stage it was 9-0 early in the second half. Now, I don't care how good a side you are, you're not going to win an Origin when you get the penalties against you 9-0 and 12-2. Yeah, Tim found that invariably the following week his team would win the penalty count. So we'll see if history repeats itself. Now, when you consider the games in Sydney, there's going to be 80,000 screaming NSW fans. I can see the penalties favouring the Blues, and that's a big step towards victory. So time will tell, but I reckon it won't be 9-0, but I reckon the Blues will get the count, and a bit of smart work from Laurie Daley.
Okay, Jack De Belin's off from the Dragons to the Eels, and on the surface everything's sweet, but what's it like sort of behind the scenes with that move?
Yeah, well, I spoke to someone close to De Belin, and let me assure you, even though he said all the right things, I've enjoyed every minute of my time here. It's been great. He's filthy. He wanted to stay a one-club player. He's been there 15 years, nearly 250 games, and very much a part of the Wollongong community. Now he has to up and leave and move to Parramatta in Sydney's West. But he just felt very much at home at St George. He liked mentoring the young forwards and was basically taken out of his hands. He was told, there's nothing here for you next year. So I guess you'll have a point to prove at the Eels in 2026.
Now, Tony, someone's tipped you off that a player got kicked off the Townsville Blackhawks bus at the weekend. What happened there?
Yeah, that's right. The bus screeched to a halt and a player found himself on the side of the road and the bus kept going. It sounded like a great story. It ended up just a good story. I'll tell you what happened. The North Queensland Cowboys, who are the boss team, I guess you'd call, to the Blackhawks, suddenly found themselves in an injury crisis for the game on the Gold Coast the following day and needed a player. So Todd Payton got on the phone, issued an SOS to a fella called Kaden Lyou. You and I know his daddy is Tom Leroy Lyou, a pretty famous Canberra player back in the day. Big boy. His son's also a big boy. He's a front rower. So he got off the bus. He called a taxi. The taxi picked him up in the middle of nowhere, drove him back to Townsville, and he jumped on a plane and flew to Coolangatta to play on the Gold Coast. And he got there just in time. It was only his second NRL start and his first win. So congratulations, Kaden Lyou, a fairly dramatic first win in the NRL.
He was a tall bloke, wasn't he? Tom Leroy Lars. He was massive, massive.
Yeah, and this kid's 19 and still growing.
Now, Tony, every now and then people stumble across us on YouTube. If that's what you've done, welcome. And but sometimes we stumble across interesting stuff on YouTube as well. Tell us about sort of a homemade documentary on a player agent that you found.
Yeah, well, it's the talk of the town, and you called it homemade, and probably was homemade, but you look at it and you swear it's something out of Four Corners or 60 Minutes. It's a very professional job. Goes for about half an hour, and it details Isaac Moses, the controversial player agent's career, going right back to his alleged role, and we should say alleged role, even though I think he was suspended for it, in the Storm salary cap scandal way back in 2006 to 2010, right up to the current day. Now, the interesting thing is no one knows who's made this, and no one knows why they've made it, but it's out there and it's compulsive viewing, and it goes right up to the last couple of months and his role in the departure of the young Tiger Lachlan Galvin to the Bulldogs. So it's obviously been made very recently, and everyone's wondering who's made it, who's got this set against Isaac Moses. It's a cutthroat business management, as we know. Is it another agent? Is it a club executive? Is it a disgruntled player, a former client? So it's the talk of the town, and I sort of hypothesise that there's no secrets in rugby league, as we know it. It will get out eventually, and there's plenty of people on the case trying to find out who it is. So watch this space.
Okay, that's it for Midweek Scoops this week, Tony. And from now on, we're going to address the comments in the comments section here. And if you want to talk to either of us on Twitter or Instagram, you got any questions, we'll really try to be organised, because we've been a bit disorganised in recent weeks. So I'll try to be organised and try to address any questions you've got. But Tony, Midweek Scoops back next week.
Sounds good.